Cambodia. Formerly Kampuchea, now officially known as the Kingdom of Cambodia, is a country located in the southern portion of the Indochina Peninsula in Southeast Asia. It is 181,035 square kilometers in area, bordered by Thailand to the northwest, Laos to the northeast, Vietnam to the east, and the Gulf of Thailand to the southwest. Cambodia has a population of over 15 million. The official religion is Theravada Buddhism, practiced by approximately 95% of the population. The country's minority groups include Vietnamese, Chinese, Chams, and 30 hill tribes. The capital and largest city is Phnom Penh, the political, economic, and cultural center of Cambodia. The gospel came late to Cambodia. The first Protestant missionary arrived in 1923, translated the New Testament in 1933, and published the whole Bible in 1953. Its message was not welcomed, and few believed or obeyed it. In 1965, the government's anti-American crusade forced foreign missionaries to withdraw. After 40 years of work, they left the Khmer Evangelical Church with less than 1,000 members. In 1970, with the rise of pro-American regime and the return of missionaries, there was freedom and growth for the church. Many turned to God. There were large evangelistic crusades, and Christians labored with a sense of urgency as the Khmer Rouge advanced. When war broke out, there were 3 congregations in Phnom Penh. By 1975, when the Khmer Rouge took Phnom Penh, this had increased to 30. But a year later, all missionaries were forced to make a reluctant exodus, leaving a church of around 10,000 members. The persecution was savage. 90% of Christians and all Christian leaders were martyred or fled the country. It was only in 1979 that increasing tolerance for the spread of Christianity was enjoyed. But it was not until 1990 that Christians have been allowed to worship openly. Despite attempts to crush the church and the pressures on it during the next decades, the small remnant has grown from a few hundred Christians to approximately 250,000 today. There are now 750 Christian churches in Cambodia. The country faces numerous challenges. Important socio-political issues include widespread poverty, pervasive corruption, lack of political freedom, low human development, and a high rate of hunger. Cambodia is consistently recognized as having one of the most corrupt governments in the world, known for political oppression and the use of violence to maintain power. While Cambodia has recently had an annual GDP growth rate that ranks in the top 10 worldwide, most of the people within the country continue to live in poverty. Cambodia also has one of the highest rates of HIV and AIDS in all of Asia. Prayers from all Christians around the world is what Cambodia needs now, in order to advance the gospel at rates never experienced before, and for the love of Jesus to be preached to all Cambodians. Together with our missionaries, let's help Cambodia by fervently praying, especially for Cambodia's most important spiritual needs. For justice and healing from the Khmer Rouge genocide of the late 1970s. For deliverance and salvation for the millions of children in bondage to forced labor, human trafficking, and the sex trade. For continued freedom of religion, and for continued freedom to wisely and appropriately spread the good news. For a display of God's power and continued unprecedented growth within the Cambodian church. For continued hunger for the gospel. For God to raise up and equip leaders for the Cambodian church, and for future growth and attainment of the vision for Cambodia.